Hello, it's Reviews Day Tuesday, and today it's time for a new episode of Discworld Discourses. This time I'm going to be reviewing Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett, which is the 11th Discworld novel first published in 1991. After Death of the Discworld develops too much of a personality, the auditors of reality fire him from his post, and he goes to work as a farmhand. During the interim period before a new death can be created, things start to go awry because the life force of dead humans has nowhere to go, which starts to lead to some paranormal phenomena. This is the second in the Death series of books after Mort, and Death is definitely one of my very favourite Discworld characters. I love anything to do with Death trying to interact with humans, and this book is full of that. I did spend a lot of my time reading just waiting impatiently for us to go back to Death on the farm and see what he's up to. Having said that, I did generally enjoy the other plot in the book because there are two things going on at the same time. The other plot involves Windlepoon's recently deceased wizard who finds himself hanging around due to Death's disappearance. I never found myself particularly caring about the snow globes and the trolleys and the shopping centre, but I did love all of the stuff with the Fresh Start Club and also with the Wizards of Unseen University, who are growing on me a lot as I continue this reread. So although I found the Windlepoons in Ankh-Morpork half of the book less involving than the Death at the Farm half of the book, it was never too bad because I was still interested in the characters and there was plenty to enjoy. Also, this book really built into a masterpiece for me by the end. My mind wandered quite a bit during a lot of the book, to be honest, but the final act, especially the last few pages, they really stood out as some of Terry Pratchett's best writing in the Discworld series so far. I remember in my previous reading of the Discworld series, there were a few times when I would just sit there for a while after reading and just think, Terry Pratchett is a genius, and the ending of this book was the first time in this reread that has happened to me. So yeah, to me the book has its flaws, mainly due to me not just being particularly interested in one part of the book, but as a whole it's such a great read. So some facts about Reaper Man. I don't have that many about this book, unfortunately, but a fragment of this book was adapted into a short animation with Christopher Lee as Death, and that was the first film adaptation of the Discworld series. If you liked Reaper Man, what should you read next? The next book in the Death series is Soul Music, so I'd recommend that as a good place to go, or maybe have a look at the amazing Morris and His Educated Rodents. I think that Reaper Man is the first time that they are mentioned in the Discworld series, and I was surprised because I didn't remember them being mentioned so early on. If you didn't enjoy Reaper Man so much, then the next book in the Discworld series is Witches Abroad, so I'd recommend that, I guess. I'm just recommending the next book in the series, as I so often do. In this one, we are back with the Witches of Lanka. So that's it for my review of Reaper Man. I would really love to know what you think of this book. I wouldn't put it as one of my very favourites because, as I said before, to me it's a little uneven, and my mind did wander quite a lot, more than I was expecting it to be honest. But it's still a wonderful book, and I can see why it's so many people's favourites. I will give Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett 4.3 out of 5. The next book that I will be reviewing in Discworld Discourses is Witches Abroad, and that review will be on the 2nd of July. Let's move across to the end screen. If you would like to see some more Discworld Discourses or my latest video, then you can do so below me here, and you can also subscribe to my channel or visit my website if you should wish to beside me here. And if you'd like to see the full Discworld Discourses schedule or my Patreon page, then the links to those things are in the description below. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you later on in the week.